He'll see it was a mistake, partner.
Sir, is everything all right?
How kind of you to ask. The name's Ackley Barnes. And no, it is not. I'm plotting a sort of revenge against my ex-business partner, a conniving fiend by the name of Alfred Lawley. He cut me out of our herbology supply business, just as we were getting started. Said I was too volatile to work with. I'll show him volatile.
That must have been frustrating for you.
Yes, it was. Terribly. I'm simply passionate about my work. Supercilious fool. He's passionate about things too, as I intend to remind him by relieving him of his prized possession. A venomous tentacula he's grown from a seedling that was to be the keystone of our business venture. I can't get anywhere near it with Ruth Singer watching me like an augury. Lawley's doing, no doubt. But no one would suspect a student. How would you feel about committing some grand plant larceny?
You said Mr. Lawley was your ex-business partner. What were you working on?
I had an idea to train venomous tentacula, create guard plants, if you will, that attacked when ordered. We hit a snag when one ate Lawley's Kneasel. After that, he cut me out of the business, the short-sighted fiend.
Why do you need Mr. Lawley's venomous tentacula in particular?
Simple. If I have it, then Lawley doesn't. Ergo, I can launch my business, and he must start all over again. I'm killing 2 snidgets with 1 stone.
What else is in Mr. Lawley's cellar?
All of Lawley's herbology supplies. He has quite the collection. Fill your pockets while you're there. Or to slow him down for a bit, and I can get my business going minus any competition.
I'll get the venomous tentacula for you.
Marvelous. I know a fellow seeker of justice when I see one. Take as many herbology supplies as you like while you're in his cellar. All I ask is that you bring me the venomous tentacula. Remember, I just need that venomous tentacula.
Seems I need to find Mr. Lawley's cellar. This must be it. This must be the cellar. How to find that venomous tentacula? Lumos! Better not let Mr. Lawley see me. Revelio.
What could be? Stop! Stop, bandit!
This must be the cellar. How to find that venomous tentacula? Better not let Mr. Lawley see me. Revelio. is that venomous tentacula? Revelio. Lumos. Incendio. Accio. Expelliarmus. Defender. Protego. Stupefy. Stupefy. Defender. Accio. Incendio. Expelliarmus. So many spiders. It's a wonder they haven't taken over the whole house. Stupefy. Accio. Defender. Incendio. Defender. Stupefy. Accio. Incendio. Expelliarmus. Revelio. Revelio. Now that I have the venomous tentacula, I should return to Mr. Barnes. Aloha Mora. Protego.
Retrieving a certain friend of mine from a...
Hello, Mr. Barnes. I have that venomous tentacula.
Wish I could see Lawley's face when he realizes his prized possession is gone. We'll see who's volatile now. Well done. I'll take it off your hands now.
It wasn't as easy to come by as I had expected. I'd like to be paid for my troubles.
Only fair, I suppose. I can respect your business acumen. Here's a little something for your next trip to Zonko's. Thank you again for your help. I suspect you have a bright future.
Glad you came.
Hello, Serona. I received your owl. How are you?
Hello, my friend. Did you ever find Logog?
I did, thank you. We had a good conversation. He sends you his best.
Glad to hear it. I shan't ask for details of your little chat, and I'll refrain from telling you to be careful yet again. But I hope you will be, whatever your plans.
Of course. Your owl mentioned you're needing my help with something?
I do. I thought you might be just the person to do a favour for my friend Dorothy Sprottle in Upper Hogsfield.
I've actually met Mrs. Sprottle. I recently spoke with her about her friend Claire Beaumont.
She's lovely. Her late husband Aidan was a friend of my father's. In fact, I'd stayed with Dot and Aidan the summers I waited tables here as a student. I've seen her a few times since Aidan passed, but the pub's been so busy lately, I've not been as attentive as I'd have liked. I wonder if you might pop in and see her. She may need some help collecting ingredients for her supply of Wiggenweld potion. And you could retrieve something of mine in the process. A box, full of old letters and such.
Why does Mrs. Sprottle keep a supply of Wiggenweld potion on hand?
Dot's a skilled potioneer. She's been supplying travelling vendors with Wiggenweld potion. An ordinary precaution that has, unfortunately, become a necessity, what with Ranrok's loyalists disrupting the trade routes.
Why did Mr. and Mrs. Sprottle have your box of letters after all this time?
It's one of a few that I had when I was young. Dot found it when she was clearing out a closet. Can't imagine what's in there. Probably terribly theatrical. The ramblings of a teenage witch and her friends. You're welcome to take a peek inside, if you do find it. To be honest, I'd imagine it contains some lovely memories.
I'll try to go and see her when I can.
It would mean the world to me, and to Dorothy. Aidan was bringing the box of letters to me when he was taken ill. Dot can tell you where he might have dropped it. You'll find the hamlet just north of Hogsmeade. Please do give Dot my love.
I question anyone teaching defense against dark arts. Why take such an interest? My mother used to say I was lazy, wouldn't pick up my toys, she said. Her own fault for teaching me Accio.
That's what a failure is a good thing. Builds character.
Unicorn blood will keep you alive, certainly, but at what cost?
If no winter parents were exhausted all the time, I should pour myself a
Upper Hogsfield. Now where to find Mrs. Sprottle? Revelio! Revelio. Revelio. Aloha Mora. Revelio.
You went through to find my brother. You've made Upper Hogsfield safer, and for that, I thank you. Thank you for passing through.
Nice to see you again, Mrs. Sprottle. Actually, Sirona Ryan asked if I'd come and see you.
Oh, dear Sirona, a gem. Has been for as long as I've known her.
She thought you might need help collecting ingredients for your Wiggenweld potion.
And she's correct. My darling Aidan used to collect hawk lumps for me. Since he died, my supply has dwindled.
I'm sorry for your loss, Mrs. Sprottle.
Oh, thank you. Love of my life. A bit lost without him. If you wouldn't mind gathering some hawk lumps for me, I'd be happy to compensate you for your time.
Believe it or not, I have some with me.
Oh, thank you. How wonderful. The travelling vendors will be thrilled to replenish their stock of Wiggenweld potion.
Sirona also mentioned that Mr. Sprottle was bringing her a box of letters when he fell ill.
Indeed he was. I'd almost forgotten. I stumbled upon it just before Aidan died. He was hoping to go through it with Sirona over a butterbeer or two. Those two were always like two bowtruckles in a branch. Aidan took ill when he was collecting hawk lumps on his way to see her. He made it home, but I fear he dropped the box in the cavern. The cavern is in the hills just southwest of our hamlet. You can gather hawk lumps and collect the box of letters there.
Sirona said she lived with you during the summers when she was at Hogwarts. What was she like?
Goodness. Well, she was almost exactly like she is now. Charming, good head on her shoulders, taking care of everyone. I can't tell you the fun we had when she and her friends would visit us during the year, all buzzing about, practicing charms. Talented group. Her friend Mirabelle was a genius in the garden. Learned it all from her muggle parents, if you can believe it.
Do you remember anything about the letters you put in the box?
Oh, of course. A few letters from some of her school friends. Some nice memories. I even included a letter Sirona had written to me when she was staying with us. Thought she might enjoy reading it. I know when I read writing from my youth, I'm always astonished at how much I've changed, and yet remain the same.
Thank you, Mrs. Brottle.
Thank you. I'll be here if you are able to collect those hawk lumps. I, and the vendors I help, would greatly appreciate it.
This could prove dangerous if I'm not careful. This must be the cavern Mrs. Brottle mentioned. Revelio!
I dream of making a better world. If they come after me, they'll rest in 10 graves.
Accio! Incendio! Expelliarmus! Potato!
You dare slay one of my own!
You haven't the
Accio! Incendio! Expelliarmus! Stupid!
soon enough.
Stupid one! Accio!
You just got lucky.
Accio! Incendio! Expelliarmus! Defender! Nobody will believe I defeated an Ashwinder by myself. Revelio! Hawk lumps to Mrs. Brottle, but I still need to visit the cave to find Zerona's box of letters. Perhaps I'll find more hawk lumps while I'm there. Better have a look around. See about the hawk lumps and the box of letters. That's all the hawk lumps for now. Mrs. Brottle should be pleased. Revelio! That's all the hawk lumps for now. Mrs. Brottle should be pleased. That's all the hawk lumps for now. Mrs. Brottle should be pleased. Revelio. 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 Either I'll have to fight that troll, or avoid it altogether. Expelliarmus! Confringo! Should think they felt that in London. Revelio. Revelio. Lumos. Revelio. Lumos. Revelio. 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 This must be Sirona's box of letters. I should take this box of letters to Sirona. I think that's everything. Sirona will be glad. Revelio. Revelio. Confringo. Repulsor. Accio. Incendio. Defender. Expelliarmus. Revelio. Aloha Mora. Revelio. Revelio. Aloha Mora. Revelio. Revelio. Hello, Sirona. I have good news. I was able to provide your friend Mrs. Sprottle with some hawk lumps for her Wiggamel potion, and I found your box of letters.
Oh, thank you. I knew you were the one to ask.
I wondered about some of the letters in the box.
Of course. It appears most of the letters were from fellow students.
I saw a letter from someone named Mirabelle. Is that Professor Garlic?
It is. Still one of my dearest friends. I know she wouldn't mind you having seen that letter. She and I are of a similar mind, especially when it comes to young people. We believe experience to be an invaluable teacher. To borrow a phrase from Mirabelle, it's a joy to see anyone blossom, but particularly one who doubted they ever would.
One of the letters mentions Quidditch practice. Did you play?
I did. Was the Ravenclaw Seeker for 3 years. Oh, Merlin's beard. I adore Quidditch. Nothing like the feeling of catching the golden snitch when your team's down by 140 points. I'll never forgive Professor Black for cancelling it this year. I missed cheering for Ravenclaw.
I spotted a letter from you to Mrs. Sprottle. You two seem to have a lot of fun together.
We do. She taught me so much during my summers with her and Aiden. I shall be the first to admit that adolescents aren't always the easiest to understand. And not everyone was as kind to me as the Sprottles. But the depth of their kindness, and that of so many of my friends, got me through... well, got me through some challenging times, to put it mildly.
I'm glad I could be of help. Mrs. Sprottle sends her best.
Don't know what I'd have done without her and Aiden. Thank you, again, for helping her, and for returning this box of letters. It's nice to reflect on good memories.
I suspect you are the one who has been interfering with a rather personal matter. The Demiguise statues and... contained therein were placed as they were for good reason. You should not meddle in the personal affairs of others.
I don't think Mr. Pemberton meant to use his own stationery. He knows something about those Demiguise moons. He's in Hogsmeade, apparently. Perhaps I shall pay him a visit.
I'm sure you had your reasons, but breaking into Alfred Lawley's home wasn't the brightest idea.
Would anyone care enough to remove my...
Pardon me, sir, but those curious Demiguise statues I've seen.
What? Who are you? Why do you ask?
They're causing Mr. Moon terrible distress.
Ha! Good. That was the idea.
So you did create them?
Yes, I did. It was a ploy to give that pathetic oaf Moon a taste of the grief he caused me years ago. You are the one who's been pilfering them.
I am, at the request of Mr. Moon. I received your owl, on your stationery?
Ah, well, fitting Moon would enlist a student. Too cowardly to do it himself. Hasn't changed a bit. Even when we were at school, he was a cowardly bully. Gave me a horrible nickname, which I shan't repeat. I was thrilled when we left school and he seemed gone for good. Then I started seeing him around Hogsmeade. It was too much. Even if I do take satisfaction in that his life's destiny was to be a lowly caretaker.
Mr. Moon does a good deal for the school, and he's taught me a lot. He's terrified of those statues.
I know. You should have seen his face when that boggart appeared. Oh, priceless. That's when I knew what I needed to do. I simply didn't want to encounter him anymore. So, I shrewdly put a boggart in his path to learn his greatest fear. I then created the demiguise statues to keep him in his place, so to speak. The moons were an inspired play on his name. It worked brilliantly. Until you started clearing them out.
The statues are a form of bullying. You're no better than him. Perhaps it's time you both moved on.
Fair point, I suppose. If they've terrified him, as you say, he may have learned his lesson.
Mr. Moon, I've learned who's behind the demiguise statues. It was a classmate of yours that you bullied, Piers Pemberton.
Oh, I might have known. Pigtails Piers.
I don't think he likes being called that.
Of course he does. Oh, we had such flowing locks. And we used to laugh about them. I laughed the hardest of all. Clever, clever man. I'd no idea he was so devious. I must go and congratulate him. Whatever statues remain seem less terrifying now that I know they were put out by old pigtails. Continue collecting them if you like. As for me, I'm gonna go and pay a visit to my old friend.
Hello, Adelaide. I received your owl.
Thank you for coming. You see, my Uncle Roland is a metal trader who's quite well known in the goblin community. He normally sends me owls every week when he's on his business travels. In his last owl, he alluded to dealings with those radical goblins, Ranrok's loyalists. It's been ages since that owl and I'm worried. What with the troll attack on Hogsmeade and the rumours that goblins may have been involved, well, I'm fearing the worst. Should I be worried about my uncle, or am I overthinking this?
I think you're right to be concerned, Adelaide. Your uncle may be in trouble.
You're much more understanding than Professor Weasley. She heard I was going to look for him and forbade me from leaving the grounds. She's convinced he can handle himself, but I can't concentrate on anything until I know he's all right. Could you try to find out for me? From what I hear, you're almost as adventurous as Uncle Roland.
Has your uncle traded with many goblins?
Yes, for ages. Even speaks gobbledygook. But he only recently mentioned Ranrok's lot, insisting the galleons were worth the risk. He does it for me. In robes and supplies, attending Hogwarts costs a fair sickle. And besides that, Uncle Roland has expensive taste. He's sacrificed so much for me over the years. I promised him that as soon as I finish Hogwarts, I shall be the one taking care of him.
I take it you and your uncle are close?
We are. My mother died when I was born, and I lost my father when I was 5. Uncle Roland's looked after me for as long as I can remember. He knows I get anxious when he travels, and that's why he sends me all the owls, to let me know that he's all right.
I'll try and look into it for you, Adelaide.
Thank you. He's very thorough in his record keeping, notes all his trades in a journal, makes maps. In fact, in his last owl, he drew me a map of his next stop. He'd planned to set up camp north of here. I do hope you're able to find out where he is. Thank you again for any help you can provide. Oh, Uncle Roland, what have you got yourself into?
All right. She seems very worried. Adelaide mentioned her uncle's camp may be near Bromborough, past the river. Confringo! Revelio.
Every traveling vendor that's passed through. to be reminded that we're still running things. You've heard many of my... Everyone in Upper Hogsfield shudders when they see me.
Incendio. Expelliarmus. Redragon.
Not so tricky after all, Merlin. This be Mr. Oakes' campsite? Ranrok's loyalists, just ahead. Should I take them by force or be discreet?
What have we here? Another human? Pity. Accio. Incendio. Revelio. Accio. Expelliarmus. You won't stop me. Incendio. That was meant for me. Revelio. Oh, this'll be easily diverted. You can't stop. I won't.
Now to find out what happened here.
Revelio.
Mr. Oakes' trade journal. Adelaide said that her uncle kept notes of his trades, maps. Perhaps these landmarks will lead to him.
ALTO. Revelio.
I should investigate.
Incendio. Window. Redragon. Stupefy. Expelliarmus. Incendio. Incendio. Window. Expelliarmus. Accio. Incendio. Revelio. Lumos.
Revelio. Lumos.
That goblin help.
Accio. Accio. Incendio. Defendo. Not my fault you're a deadly great spider. Revelio. Reparo.
Betting on the dragon fight was the...
It's Expelliarmus. The beast. Revelio.
Accio. Defender. Expelliarmus. Incendio.
What was that?
What do we have here?
Accio. Expelliarmus.
This looks like... I may have more luck higher up in the keep.
Revelio.
Was that your best?
Protego. Accio. Expelliarmus. Revelio.
A ladder. That's what I need.
Who is it?
Accio. Expelliarmus. Revelio.
This is the stuff on the about me.
Incendio. Expelliarmus.
Oh, here's a sign.
Revelio.
Perhaps not the best place to be caught alone.
That student defeated our encampment in the tower.
Accio. Revelio.
Get away!
Revelio. Accio. Expelliarmus. Defender.
Stupefy. Potato. Stupefy. Not the best place for an unaccompanied student. This castle's hiding all sorts of secrets. What will we find in here?
Revelio.
Wizard. What's that?
Accio. Incendio. No! Expelliarmus.
You won't get away with that.
Accio. Incendio. Your blood's on Ranrock's hands. Revelio. Aloha Mora. Revelio.
It looks as though Adelaide's instincts were spot on.
Revelio.
How nice of you to stop by.
When are you going to give up?
Revelio. Accio. Expelliarmus. Incendio.
Choose to shatter.
Expelliarmus. Incendio. Accio. Incendio. Expelliarmus.
I won't rest.
Incendio.
I don't think you know who you're dealing with.
The boiler door. How to open it?
Revelio. Revelio. Confringo. Revelio.
He'll learn his lesson after being locked away. You can count on that.
Revelio. Wingardium Leviosa. Incendio. Confringo. Revelio. Revelio.
Mines at one time or other. Oh, dead.
Stupid one. Incendio. Incendio.
No! It's almost too easy.
Nice try.
What was that?
Not quite. You're still for me.
Incendio. Stupid one.
You won't stop me. That was meant for me. Easily diverted.
Incendio.
It's easy. You can't stop.
Revelio.
Up for a bit of time. Yes.
Accio. Incendio. Expelliarmus.
I won't rest until you're no match for me. I will make you pray. Hit it! Missed me! Stop it!
Stupid one. Revelio. Revelio. Revelio.
What's down there?
Revelio.
This must be Mr. Oakes's wand. Perhaps now he can set himself free.
Revelio. Revelio.
You only...
Revelio.
Hello? Mr. Oakes?
Yes, I'm here. They've taken my wand. This cell has an enchanted lock. I have experience with these locks, but I need my wand if I have any chance of opening it. Look for a boiler door. I've heard them speak of it.
Fortunately, I've already found your wand, Mr. Oakes.
Please, pass me my wand. I can't get out of this damn cell without it. It's my last hope. Please. My wand. Oh, thank Merlin. Thank you. You did it! I found my wand and... Wait, you're a student? Oh, we must get you to safety immediately. It's dangerous.
It's all right, Mr. Oakes. I've dealt with these goblins before.
Dear Merlin, you're either very lucky or very talented. Well, how did you find me?
I'm a friend of Adelaide's. She was worried about your business with Ranrock's loyalists.
Oh, she was right to be. I couldn't go through with the agreement, and when I told them, I ended up blindfolded and behind bars. Been locked in that infernal cell for so long, they'd forgot I was even there. I overheard things. If only I could reward you for what you've done. Blasted goblins stole every canut on me. All I can say is thank you, truly.
You mentioned you overheard things.
Sad tale, really. I think I know where Ranrock's unfortunate vendetta against wizardkind began. Although dragon breeding was outlawed by the Warlocks Convention of 1709, Ranrock stumbled upon an illegal dragon camp. He was young, found the creatures fascinating. He'd visit the camp in secret whenever he could, never making his presence known. After weeks of sly surveillance, he finally summoned the courage to speak to the wizard in charge. Ranrok wanted to join them, and the creatures. The wizard happened to drop his wand. Ranrok saw an opportunity. He picked it up, went to hand it back as a means of introducing himself. The sight of a goblin with a wand sent the wizard into an instant rage. He beat Ranrok nearly to death. Ever since, Ranrok has despised wizard kind, sees us all as cruel.
Am I right that you speak gobbledygook?
Unbeknownst to Ranrock's fiends, I do. I've always had an affinity for goblin culture. Knew I wanted to be a metal trader ever since I was a lad. It wasn't easy learning the language. It's complex, and my memory's as weak as my knees these days. But after decades working with fine goblin folk, I grew fairly proficient. At least, I'd like to think so.
I'm grateful I was able to help you, Mr. Oakes. Adelaide thinks the world of you.
Oh, and I her. She's become quite savvy to my trading habits, always analyzing my detailed owls. If only I hadn't resorted to trading with such fiends. A lesson I shan't soon forget. Having my wand back is like being reunited with an old friend. I must return home and inform Adelaide of my safety. Will you be all right?
I'll be fine, Mr. Oakes. You get back to Adelaide. I assure you, her worries outweigh yours.
Oh, I'm anxious to see my dear niece. And then I plan to travel far from here for my next round of trading. Thank you. May life reward you justly for your deeds. Be well, my friend.
Mr. Oakes was lucky. Ranrock's lot would never have freed him.
Revelio. Revelio. Revelio.
Thank you for your persistence and cleverness. I confronted Piers about it, and he confessed straight away, the old rascal. We've agreed to let bygones be bygones. Don't forget to say hello the next time you're in the Three Broomsticks.
Can I help you?
I believe you can. I'm Sophronia, by the way, and I need help from someone who's at least a 5th year. Are you familiar with Herodiana Byrne? Don't answer that. Of course you're not. No one seems to know of her but me. She's only the single greatest Depulso master of all time. Even taught at Hogwarts, briefly.
How interesting. I'm amazed I've never heard of her.
It's a travesty she's not more well known. I often read about great witches in my limited free time. There are many. Whilst reading about her, I learned that she built a secret Depulso training room here at Hogwarts. But in typical clever Herodiana fashion, one cannot access it unless one knows Depulso, which of course, 3rd years aren't taught.
And you're a 3rd year, so...
Quick one, aren't you? According to what I've read, her signature outfit may still be there. I would love to see it. Would you get Herodiana's signature outfit and show it to me?
How did Herodiana Byrne become famous by casting Depulso?
She once saved orphans from a wild Grafhorn by banishing it over Stonehenge. That's on Salisbury Plain. She once banished a meddlesome dark wizard all the way to Durmstrang while she was in the Alps. That one may have been exaggerated, but lots of the stories about her certainly aren't.
What ended up happening to Herodiana Byrne?
In her later years, she taught at Hogwarts, but only for a short while. Just long enough to build a secret hall, it appears. Then one day, she just disappeared. Some say she actually banished herself. No one knows for sure.
If you tell me where to go, I'll see what I can do about it.
Simply go to the Hall of Herodiana. It's at the base of the Defense Against the Dark Arts Tower. There, you'll find a series of Depulso puzzles concealing pieces of Herodiana's ensemble.
Very well. I shall let you know if I find anything.
I can't wait to see Herodiana's famous ensemble. Perhaps I'll make myself a copy.
Suppose I should look for that secret hall Sophronia told me about. It does sound interesting.
142 staircases.
This must be the entrance to the Hall of Herod. Here it is, the Hall of Herodiana. Better go inside and find those puzzles. Now to see if Herodiana Byrne was as good as Sophronia said she was.
Revelio. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Compulso. Accio.
I see. The switch reset everything.
Incendio. Repello. Arresto momentum. Revelio. Compulso.
That chest. That wasn't too long. What's next?
Revelio. Accio. Descendo. Compulso. Accio. Repulsor. Accio.
Getting the hang of this now. Just one left.
Revelio. Revelio. Accio. Arresto momentum. Accio. Arresto momentum. Accio.
Protego. Accio.
Arrest the momentum. Accio.
That's the last of them. Seems I was a match for Herod. And this must be the last piece of Herodiana's ensemble. It is remarkable. No wonder Sophronia wants to see this. Sophronia, I solved all the puzzles in the Hall of Herodiana.
Incredible! Then you found Herodiana's outfit. May I see it?
Of course, but not for free. That wasn't easy.
Of course, I'd pay anything. Oh, how grand! You'll look as majestic as Herodiana herself, the greatest Depulso master of all time.